kind of like a drug in a sense. It was kind of a Hail Mary. It was like a suicide leap. I'm not gonna give the wave up, you know? What? Like, pipe masters.
So happy to know all you guys.
Summer Street.
Yes.
Kaulana Apo. I am from Ewa Beach, Hawaii. Yeah, this was the first time I put on a jersey since, shucks, it's been 6 years. Yeah.
Like, how did you find that?
It was a DM on Instagram. Yeah, from I think Vans or Stab. They sent me a message that just said like, "Oh, you're invited to the Pipe Masters," and I was like, "What? Like, Pipe Masters?" Yeah, I was super nervous. It was like, it's the most nervous I've been in a long time, in a super long time. To compete with some of the world's like top guys was like even crazier, you know? So yeah, I was pretty nervous, yeah. And pipe is like, pipe in a contest is intimidating, so you could definitely like, you know, get hurt out there or like make some wrong moves that could be pretty bad. Yeah, I caught one wave. I slipped out. I was like tippy-toeing on the board, slid down the face and completely like ate it. and humbly came in. Yeah, I came in kind of rattled, honestly, like everyone's behind you and they're waiting for you to perform, and so to fall and only get one chance was pretty rough. I was dead last. I was 40th. I had a total of 1.0. That's it. That's all I had. It's crazy. Going into the heat, I don't know, it was hard because I didn't really like, looking at the conditions and everything, like, you know, you kind of just expect one, maybe. So I wasn't really expecting two. Yeah, pounding out was like, it's just whatever. It was like, honestly, it was like, whatever happened, happened. Let's just do it, you know, whatever comes in, comes in. But then Joao got 2 in that heat, right before me. He did it, he made the final, and I was like, whoa, like, he just did that. Like, maybe. Yeah, I went on a wave prior to those 2 waves in that heat, and it closed out. I fell, it broke on me, and I didn't think nothing of it. I paddled out, and that was like in the beginning of that heat, and so there was maybe like a 8-minute window that went by where we're just kind of sitting. There's nothing that really came in, and when that first good wave came in, I went to sit up on my board and turn around, and as my legs were alongside the rails, I felt a crack in it, and the board was buckled on the wave. But it was kind of too late to do anything because I'm not gonna give the wave up, you know, it's just like a critical moment. So you gotta go. You gotta just go for it.
Yamane, as he was the dramatic last-minute entry into this final with heroic rides yesterday at Pipeline, 2 massive barrels.
That's probably why my hands went up in the way when I was in there, just because like whatever happened. And I was kind of like, it was kind of a Hail Mary at that point, knowing that the board was broken prior to standing up. If I fell, then it was okay. It was like a suicide leap, I guess, you know, those like moments, but it worked out, all right? It just somehow worked out, so yeah, that was pretty cool. I thought that was pretty cool because a lot of people thought that I was just switching it out for a smaller board, but this tail was actually flapping behind me the whole time on that wave, which was pretty crazy. I had my toes right here on this crease because when I first stood up, I had it here and I felt the tail kind of give out. And so I shuffled up and I felt where the crack was, and I tried to like keep it there the whole time. And it somehow stayed together, which was cool. I was really lucky that happened. Yeah, it was broken. I didn't even realize I probably should check my equipment more often after waves that I fall on. It was like a 23 something, 23 point something. And then that put me in the 20th mark out of the 40 competitors. Seth seeing that was pretty cool, because that's like, he kind of helped me get the second one. It was like, he kind of like was saying like, hey, if the three of us get one really good one, like that doesn't really do nothing. You know, like Griffin, you're kind of in already, right? Crosby and Seth needed 2 scores still. And so I remember him saying like, if another really good one comes, like, I think Lana should go on it, just because he could make the final too, and we could have both people in the final from our heat. And I thought that was like super cool. And you know, they didn't need to do that, you know. So yeah, really grateful for that. They gave me the outside and they stayed on the inside to back me up just in case I didn't get the wave. But they definitely gave me that gentleman's rule to try and make the best of it, and yeah, it worked out. Lucky it came in time. It was like 40 seconds, like something like that. It's crazy, yeah. Super lucky. It was like north swell and onshore winds, like just against all odds completely. You know, just like totally crap conditions for pipeline. And somehow not 1 but 2 waves came in where proper pipe waves should come in behind the boil, and it did the whole, you know, like barrel to spit thing, and I'm pretty grateful for that, for sure. Like, people see a lot of waves out there at pipe, and like, but they don't see like where you catch it from, and that's a big part. Like, you know, although like all the waves are crazy out there, and like, but like when you get a wave from, let's say, like we call it the contest peak, which is like more towards the channel kind of, and like there's obviously crazy waves there, and like for sure, but it's there's nothing like a classic, you know, like where things should be and where the greats got theirs from. It's like behind the boil and coming from deep, and you know, and getting that chip in and then driving through and like coming out after the first reef. And just to get the wave from back there, I really didn't care if I made the final or not, honestly. Like, just to see that I could sit back there and then pick the right line and, you know, be in the right spot to get the chip, and then, you know, touch the boil on the way down and place myself to come over the foam ball and like make the wave. Yeah, I was cool with that, honestly. I was like just free surfing for me. I didn't get no pipe waves before that contest this season, so for me those are my pipe waves under my belt for the season, and it just happened to be in a contest, which I was super grateful for. Yeah. Winning the contest didn't mean much. It was more of this putting on a good performance on a platform where my family could see, you know, and like family members reaching out and saying that they see me was like the coolest thing ever. Like, to me, that was the win. Take the money, take the final. Like, that's why I do it. It's like after everything, yeah, and that meant more for sure. Still does. You know, it's big waves and it's big barrels, and there's big things that can come from it, you know, and so you gotta humble yourself out know, and there's nothing better to do that than paddling back out and doing it the next day when nothing's on the line, you know. It's just for you and the love of surfing pipeline and getting good waves. And to be honest, it's been 0 to 0 since then. I haven't got a single wave. I've been getting pounded and like kind of out of position, and so it's been good. I've been humbled and hungry and ready to be out there all winter. So.